I was within and without, simultaneously enchanted and repelled by the inexhaustible variety of life. Scott F. Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby. And through it all, the mountain just sits. I am the only person who cares about dinosaurs. They are still alive, and they are invisible. We are fucked. The patriarch, you fucks got no idea what the fuck is about to hit you. Drugs are fun and also cool, so you should tur some. Jacob Charles, Kaiser. Let's bring back Slurp. Unlike other marsupials, koalas lack the adaptation that allows their teeth to withstand the wear of their notoriously tough fruit of choice, the eucalyptus leaf. Once its teeth are worn down, if not already dead, the koalas will slowly starve. Ooh. You are fine. You are okay. And this is a beautiful place to start.
Moving into your first apartment is kind of scary. I'm sorry, I'm on a swivel stool. It's kind of like a rite of passage that you're moving away from your parents and you kind of had to be in charge of your own getting of things, silverware and cups. You're in charge of your own kitchen and your own paper towels and your own life. Furniture is not exactly cheap. There's a million things you have to get. Did you know you need saran wrap, tinfoil, sponges, rugs, tables, end tables, side tables? It's hard to figure out all these things while you're also figuring out how to be a person, and you don't know what you want in terms of like art and decoration. What do you even put in it apart from like chairs and couches? What do you hang on the walls? And nowadays we're even more incentivized to not have a sense of space and sort of be geared towards our technology to keep us entertained. God forbid you sit alone in a living room with like your thoughts. My first ever apartment came fully furnished because they were new to leasing it out to people, so that was super lucky. I didn't have to make any decisions there. Apartment number 2 had nothing in it. It was my last year of school, and it was depressing. And everyone who went there told me it was depressing. I don't think we ever had a hangout there. Your home has to be your sanctuary. It has to be whatever you want to embody when you're not at school or work, when you're taking care of yourself. So I'm halfway through my 20s now, and after spending 4 years in this apartment, me and my roommates have finally kind of turned this into a livable space that sort of embodies what we want to feel here, which is tranquility, it's a home, creativity, fun. It's a fun place to be. So here are seven ways to improve your apartment, and these are all analog ways. I want us to have a sense of homeliness while not relying on our devices for entertainment to do so. So the first one is the Leave a Note. I got this idea from a bookstore in Savannah, Georgia, where they had a typewriter and a bunch of note cards, and you can type whatever you want and put it on a little bulletin board. I think it's so perfect. It's right at the door, except it's in an apartment. It's not in a bookstore that's public, so you can say whatever the fuck you want. That one just says poo poo pee pee. I swear to God, this is the last time I'm gonna mention my I think typewriters are a lot of fun to have in a house for a lot of reasons. By no means do you have to. You could just have like a bunch of colorful note cards around, pens, paper, whatever you want. It's a beautiful way to encourage people to participate in the space. Next one, if you have the space for 2 desks, one's digital and the other's analog. This was another gem from Austin Kleon. He has 2 specific workspaces. Computer stuff, sometimes you just have to work on whatever the heck you need a computer for. He really emphasizes having your own space to do just physical artwork or studying. In his analog desk, he does blackout poetry where he crosses out words with a big Sharpie. It's a very visceral experience. You're playing around with markers that squeak and you get some of the fumes. Don't actually inhale markers, but I think that markers smell kind of nice. Scrapbooking, painting, journaling, writing on a notepad. That tactility also has a whole other layer of remembering things. Learning something physical like an instrument, clarinet, there is muscle memory involved. You actually build new neural pathways when you learn how to play an instrument. I'm not a scientist, so you have permission to just take my word with a grain of salt, but I'm willing to bet that's a part of the memory that's really important, and it's really good for your brain to be able to interact with it in an analog way. I don't have a hard and fast rule about technology. Sometimes I throw my laptop on there, but it's like 95% paper, pens, paint, tools, scissors, and I love it. It's a safe space. Feng Shui, it's a thing. It does actually make a space better. I'm not the expert, but there's 5 elements: water, wood, metal, fire, earth. And they all mean different things. Wood is like flexibility and growth. Fire is energy and transformation and sort of livelihood. Earth is nourishing, it's stable, it's grounding. Metal is precision, it's efficiency, it's starkness, intelligence. Water, calm, abundant, life-providing. I'll link to a good Feng Shui article below. In general, it just means what sort of energy is brought to a room when you go inside it. Is there enough clearance so you can walk around? Are all the chairs facing each other so people can talk to each other? It might be worth going to the living room and seeing if everything is set up the way you want to. It's not set in stone. Did you know that you can move furniture around whenever you want to and nobody can stop you? Next one is find a way to engage with physical media. Ha! Of course I'm gonna talk about physical media, you son of a bitch. I'm talking record players, VHS tapes, DVDs. Yes, you can watch and listen to everything in the entire universe at the tap of a screen. But have you ever seen the 1996 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet on VHS? Because it's a wild fucking time. Guess what? All of this stuff is available at any time, regardless of which company owns it, and you can watch it without ads. Isn't that crazy? The same is for music. I have never been a record player person. I assumed that the moment I would get a record player, I would fall into the rabbit hole and I would buy 8 million records and I would be that guy that listens to records and drinks espresso. I always just used Spotify or whatever, but a collaborator at Stackzone sent a record player for free, so now I kind of have to get into it. I had a lot of fun with it. If you're looking for a premium way to listen to your records, the sound quality and fidelity is awesome. It's got 4 stereo speakers, it's got 2 bass auxiliary units. Insane, rich sound. It's also got shock reduction technology. Didn't know that was a thing. You take these pads out and if you bump the table or something, there's like a buffer in the middle that absorbs the shock. The instructions are on like a record. That's an interesting little design there. It's got all the speeds. It's got 33 and 45 RPM. I figured out how that works today. Twist the belt. Rotate about 10 times to ensure smooth operation. So I don't have a lot of records, but I do have friends and family that use record players all the time. The first ever record I'm going to put on is Tubular Bells. It's also just a Bluetooth speaker. It cooks with the Bluetooth. It's faster than my headphones. It's faster than anything in the house. Apparently this is for balance. What do we put? Oh, it's on here. Okay, all right, gotcha. Gen Zer discovers record players in real time. Okay, oh yeah, okay. That is a fine needle. I love the wood design. We got that feng shui going. It really matches the table it's on. It's elegant, but it's not too flashy. It's a great premium way to listen to your music library. So I'll link it in the description. Thank you very much to Stackzone for sending this over and for making such an awesome record player. So that was a lot of fun. I got to listen to Tubular Bells for the first time. Just having any way to engage with physical media and discover that is a great treasure to have in your apartment. Art. Every home needs art. I don't care if you've never been to an art museum, if you don't know anything about art, you need things in your house that you like looking at. You know what's my favorite part about this painting? It's fake. And no one's ever pointed it out. It's a blurry photograph that was painted over with some real paint. Most of it is a blurry underpainting that has been photocopied onto canvas. I bought it last year and I came back to the art fest and that exact same painting was there except with different paint marks on it. I'm not gonna name the artist because whatever, they're trying to make a living, but it probably shouldn't be what I paid for it, but I learned a valuable lesson. I wanted original art, real art that like has the paint marks on it. And I don't need that. $20 prints, $10 prints, they're cheap. and they support the artist. Your relationship to the art that you love is your relationship to beauty. It's your relationship to art in general. We're in an age where you don't look at a painting for a very long time. You're on Instagram art and you swipe through like 50 of them. What I've learned about having a painting, one second. This is a painting by Richard Olson. It's in the bathroom, it's above the toilet. If I saw this on Instagram, I would say, well, that's really cool, and then move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But since this has been in the bathroom for a year now, I know everything about this painting. It is so detailed. It's like that Mandelbrot thing that the more you look at it, the more detail and things. I love it. I want a huge one of it one day. It's so valuable to have one piece of art in your house that you look at for a long time. Learn about the painting and like learn about the decisions, slowly take it in over the course of time. And it gives you a very strong relationship to works of art. Put beautiful things in your house. Plants and herbs. It is such a benefit to...
Congratulations, you are the billionth person to say that plants are good for you on the internet.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Did you know that the presence of greenery improves productivity and your proclivity to creativity?
I did know that. I did actually know that. There's like oxygen and plants are great. I don't need to tell you that. It's like the basic adult thing to have. You gotta water it. That's all you gotta do. Give it some sunlight. You don't need to take my word for it. Just go out into a park, go around trees and grass, notice how you feel. There's a reason why parks are implemented in cities. It's not because they think it looks nice, it's because it is an actual rejuvenating effect on people. Stress levels go down, creativity goes up, it boosts your mood and it raises morale. Yeah, it's soul crushing to not have plants. This is rosemary, and this is basil. Holy shit. Love food. Having a dedicated space for something food related. I'm talking coffee bar, cereal bar, regular bar, tea spot with a kettle. Food is a very social part of the house. It can serve as a social spot for friends and guests that come over. Breakfast bar is also a good place to have your sort of morning ritual, having a spot to wake up and sit. It gives an incredible sense of consistency to have a little food spot. And what are you guys doing? You guys having fun? What's with the flannel? Why are you guys putting on flannel and drinking coffee and listening to record players? No.
Does anyone use regular milk these days?
I mean, me, for example, I always get organic. I mean,
Almond milk? You still drive a car? Okay. There's no electric scooter?
Guys, we're trying not to be pretentious hipsters. You gotta stop with what are you doing? Don't do that. No, stop, please. You guys have to stop. What is that? What's that? No, we're not doing the avocado toast. Don't you touch that avocado. We're not doing the... God, records, espresso, shit. Remember when hipsters were the thing that people made fun of on the internet? Like beanies and coffee and flannel, and those people are like 40 now. They just do web design and shit. Anyways, everyone embarks on the journey from empty white box to like fully realized home at like different speeds. So don't worry if one piece of art or a plant doesn't fix everything. As you get older, you get a better job or you have more time in the space, you realize that you are living with these objects for your life. Think about a trash can. If you have a shitty trash can and you think like, oh, it's not a big deal, whatever, you are going to be opening and closing that trash can a couple times a day, 5 times a day, 10 times a day. 10 times 365 is 3,650 times in a year that you are going to be opening that trash can. So I have probably opened up the Baines trash can probably 10,000 times, easily. This is where you will spend a good chunk of your life. So it's in your best interest to make it easy, to make it tranquil, to make it beautiful, and to invest in it. Because it's you, and you are worth investing in, because you're awesome, and you're cool, and bye.